I don't remember which website it was where people were trashing Colleen Zank Jordan. But honestly, what kind of person finds it entertaining to mock someone who's been through such awful health struggles? That must be such a fun way to spend your time, right? I really hope she sticks around on the soap, and let's be honest, she's perfect for that evil persona. Maybe she should make her way to the bold and the beautiful and team up with Sheila for some truly iconic villainy. Honestly, I'd love to see her take home an Emmy. Here's hoping she proves all the cruel people wrong with grace. God bless Colleen Zink, and may her reign of evil continue in style. And for her real life, here's wishing her a long, healthy, disease-free future. Now, about Kyle. Seriously, he shouldn't have even acknowledged Victor's existence. The second Victor waddled over to that table. Kyle should have been the one storming off, not Summer. But sure, let's just let Summer be the one to leave. Classic. And don't even get me started on Summer. She's absolutely losing it over Kyle and Claire's relationship. Love it though. Hashtag Team Claire all the way. You can just feel the jealousy dripping off her. As for Victor, I'm still convinced he's up to something sneaky. There's no way he sold off Glassade without knowing Jack was behind the purchase. Come on, they never let Victor actually lose. He's definitely plotting something. Oh, and Phyllis? If she hates Sharon so much, why on earth does she keep going to the coffee house? I'd be avoiding it like the plague if I was that angry. Make it make sense, Phyllis. And honestly, Phyllis needs to stop acting all innocent. Didn't she do the same thing to Diane? What a show-off. Hey everyone, welcome back to Radiant Serum. I'm Aubrey, and I hope your day is shining bright. Thank you for joining me. Let's jump right into today's video. Oh, Nick, get over it. Stop acting so jealous of Adam. You're not a cop, you're not a lawyer, you're just daddy's little sidekick, as usual. And Esther, seriously, calm down. You're not supposed to be rude to customers. Leave Adam out of this. Sure, you can blame him for your granddaughter's death, but let's not forget, your daughter is a walking disaster. She's done enough awful things to fill a book, and somehow, she's never spent a single night in jail. Honestly, I should be the one doing the music for the show. Not that their soundtrack is terrible or anything, but it would just be more fun if I was in charge. Picture it, Jack and Diane walk into a scene, and Jack and Diane by John Mellencamp starts playing. Someone's dying, and in their last breath, they say, "I will always love you." Cue Whitney Houston. I would pick the perfect song for every moment. Whatever pops into my head when they say something, that's the track I'd play. Just imagine it. Oh, and before you start with the complaints and negativity, let's remember, this is supposed to be fun, nothing more. OMG, that Jack gotcha on his Glissade buyout moment, pure gold. Priceless. Unpopular opinion. I can't wait for Summer to wipe that smug look off Claire's face. I'm so done with her little innocent act. There's no way someone raised by Jordan could stay that naive. And Ian? So angry about Sharon's pills being outed. Seriously, Summer's jealousy is so obvious. Bragging to Claire about having breakfast with her son, big deal. But of course, she had to make sure to mention Kyle. Because nothing says mature like needing to rub that in everyone's face. Get a grip, Summer. Let's just hope Mickey's new haircut sparks some sort of epiphany for the other ladies on the show. Maybe they'll get the idea to switch things up a bit, because I'm seriously about to lose it with all the middle parts. It's like a hairstyle epidemic. Adam, oh, he's livid with Nick, just demanding to know everything about Sharon's case. Team Adam or Team Nick? That's the real question, isn't it? And Summer? Just like her dear mother, she's practically itching to stir up some trouble. She sits down with that mischievous look on her face, like she's just waiting for the next scandal to unfold. But Nikki? Now she's looking good today. I mean, the hair's on point, and that dark blue suit, absolute perfection. As for Summer, it's as clear as day. She's green with envy over Claire. You could practically see the jealousy radiating off her. Kyle seemed to take the news well though, especially about letting Summer work with Nikki. Oh, and guess what, Summer? You've got way more time now to be a mom to your son Harrison. Maybe use it wisely for once. And Victor, honestly, does he have nothing better to do than obsess over Jack and Diane? The guy's supposed to be some big, successful businessman, but here he is in his 80s playing this petty vendetta game. You'd think, after all these years, he'd focus on his family, since family is supposedly his whole thing and his business. But nope. Instead, he's obsessed with making sure everyone else suffers. Some things never change. As for Sharon, some people think she shouldn't be charged for all this drama. But let's not forget, folks, she tossed Heather over the bridge, not Jordan. She framed Daniel, not Jordan. And she definitely cleaned up and covered up evidence in that apartment, not Jordan. So sure, maybe Sharon should be held accountable for those things. But the murder or accident? That's a stretch. And Victor, seriously, do you not have video cameras on your property? You just leave the gate wide open for anyone? Because, surprise, surprise, the only way Jordan could have switched Sharon's meds is if she broke into Sharon's house. But hey, no one's investigating that, right? Writers, come on, get it together. Maybe Phyllis should have realized texting and driving isn't the best combo. Just a thought. Maybe the accident wouldn't have happened if she'd put the phone down. But hey, definitely not Sharon's fault, right? Spoiler alert. Though, if you don't want to know, don't keep reading. Turns out, Sharon's meds were tainted. Shocking, right? Not really. Jordan found out that Chance had them tested, and of course, told Ian, who's totally thrilled about it. After Sharon finds out, she thinks, hey, I'll just go out for some fresh air alone. And naturally, her family lets her. We all know where this is headed. Sharon's probably about to be kidnapped or have something absolutely awful happen to her. Can't wait. Summer really thought she could play the game and get Claire out of the picture. Spoiler, it didn't work. Summer tried to turn Kyle against Claire, but Kyle's like, nope, Claire's got my support. The two of them are getting closer. Summer might want to find a new hobby or a new boyfriend, since clearly she's failed at this one. As for Victor, I am officially done. Watching him bully Kyle again, not cool. Seriously, Ian should just kidnap the guy, teach him a lesson. But let Nikki off the hook. She's had enough drama for the year. Oh, and here comes Summer again. All my son, my son. Newsflash, Summer, he's not your son. Kyle needs to grow a spine and tell her to back off. She's insufferable. And Jack? Well, he's going to lose, all because of Kyle. And seriously, Summer didn't need to know anything, so why is this a thing? Now Phyllis, sure, she can be a bit much, but honestly, I kind of love her. She's onto something with her memory issues. If she ever gets it back, she might just crack the case. A silver van? Ah, yes, that's definitely a clue. As for Jordan and Ian, honestly, how are these people still walking free after all the chaos they've caused? I get it, it's a soap, but this is ridiculous. And what's up with Adam? Does he get jealous of every single woman he's been with? Talk about baggage. He's a pain when it comes to relationships, but let's be real, he's the one causing the problems. Anyway, those of you watching A Day Ahead, well, you already know what happens next. This post could be completely irrelevant by then. Classic? Nick and Adam are practically in a perpetual competition over women. Sharon, Sally, Chelsea. It's like they can't fight over anything else. And Nick? He acts like he's the sole owner of them all. Newsflash, Nick Newman does not own Sharon, and Adam doesn't need Nick's permission to help her. Let that sink in. Oh, and speaking of Victor, Jack pulled off the ultimate move on him. He left Victor totally stunned when he casually mentioned he bought up every company Victor sold under Glissade. Talk about a mic drop moment. But seriously, why on earth isn't Billy running Glissade? He's John Abbott's son, for crying out loud. Why isn't he co-CEO at Jabot alongside Jack? And Adam, please take your son Christian from Nick's clutches. That guy is a terrible parent, leaving the poor kid home alone with just a nanny. And can we just take a moment to appreciate the look on Victor's face when Jack thanked him for the discount? Hilarious. Oh, I was absolutely thrilled when Jack finally got the upper hand on Victor. I mean, Jack bought up all those divisions Victor sold off. What a move. Now Jabot's going to be stronger than ever, and I'm here for it. The best part? Watching Nikki's face when she realized Victor got played. Priceless. And who do she and Summer think they are, judging Diane? Have they looked at their own lives? Nikki's married to him, and Summer's got Phyllis as a mom. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black. Honestly, I'd pay good money to see Claire slap the smug right off Summer's face. All that jealousy is just nauseating. Kyle hasn't wanted Summer for ages. Claire came along and made it even clearer. So what do you think? Jack getting one over on Victor, wasn't that sweet? Do you think Billy's next in line to take him down? Or do you think Victor's too crafty to let that happen? But I still can't shake the feeling that Victor pulled some sneaky move. I mean, no one outwits the mustache. And can we talk about this? Why does Victor have nothing better to do than meddle in Jack Abbott's life? Like, seriously. It's almost like he's got no other purpose than to be a pest to Jack and his family. I don't get it. And can't Nikki, for once, just admit that Jack saved her life and demand Victor let it go already? I mean, her survival? All thanks to Jack, but I guess a thank you is way too much to ask from Victor. The whole thing is becoming so tiresome, it's practically putting me to sleep. Which actors do you love the most? Well, here's your chance to assemble your perfect young and restless cast. But hold on, I'm only listing characters who've had multiple actors play them. So we're talking about Abby, Adam, Ashley, Billy, Chance, Diane, Faith, Harrison, Jack, Jill, Kyle, Noah, Phyllis, Summer, and Victoria. Now, I know Phyllis isn't exactly everyone's favorite, but I'll defend her until the end. There's something about the way she sits down and goes toe-to-toe with Billy, takes on Christine, Sharon, Michael, basically anyone who dares to stand in her way. I'm not apologizing for it either. I love Phyllis. Let's be real. Phyllis is the absolute best, feisty, dramatic, and never backing down, even when she's completely wrong. It's a thrill to watch her succeed, but even more fun to watch her fail and whip up a plan B, C, D. You get the picture. Honestly, I wish she had a friend who would egg her on and be her sounding board instead of everyone. Nick, Michael, Lauren, Summer, Daniel, and even Billy and Jack at times, constantly trying to talk her out of things. She's my favorite character, no question. Did Phyllis ever apologize to Christine or Paul for nearly running them down decades ago? Sure, no one actually died, but that wasn't for lack of trying on Phyllis's part. The only scene I remember is Phyllis screaming at Christine in Crimson Lights, accusing her of being jealous because Phyllis had a husband and a family, while all Christine had were microwave dinners. So did Ms. How can a violent criminal be allowed to walk the streets? Ever express any actual remorse to Christine or Paul directly? But of course, this is Phyllis we're talking about. She's got a massive fan base here. The list of unbelievable things she's done over the years, thanks to her insecurities and her OCD, could fill a book. But hey, her fans, they'll take a bullet for her. Victor's look when Jack told him he bought up all the glissade. Priceless. Seriously, words can't capture the pure joy it brought me. Jack finally got to smirk for once, and honestly, it was like watching a hero moment. Victor had no clue what was coming, though, let's be real, it was pretty obvious from his earlier remarks. Kudos to the writers for giving someone the tiniest, fleeting win over Victor. Just for a moment, Jack gets to feel like he's not completely invisible. As for Nikki on December 6th, did anyone else just roll their eyes when she was lecturing Claire about how romantic partners need to respect and support each other? Oh, really, Nikki? Since when does Victor ever listen to your concerns? This is the same nonsense as when Nikki scolded Jack about Diane. Does Victor even pretend to respect her? Nah, she's just a pawn he bought and paid for. But when it's convenient and Nikki's doing exactly what Victor wants, he's a model of support. Disagree with him though? Not so much. When has he ever changed a thing because she was upset about him attacking her friends? Spoiler, never. Honestly, how can Nikki not see how hypocritical, or just downright foolish, she looks? Either she's too blind to realize Victor doesn't treat her like an equal, or she secretly knows it but convinces herself she's better off than everyone else. Maybe she thinks, well, at least Victor treats me better than he treats the rest of the world. I know, lame excuse, right? But hey, when you've got the money, the social standing, and all that prestige, maybe she figures it's all worth it. Diane's pushing Jack to make nice with Kyle, and honestly, I'm starting to think she might actually want them to get along. Who knew? Lately, she's kind of growing on me. But let's not forget who she is. Diane isn't exactly Mother Teresa. She's the woman who lied, stole, cheated, and then bailed on her own kid, sending him off to a private school and keeping him hidden from his father and the family. A real class act, right? Look, I get it. Diane wants to see her husband and son work things out, and I'm not even mad at her for that. My issue isn't with her. My problem? Trusting Kyle to actually give a damn about his dad or the family business. That guy's a ticking time bomb, waiting for the chance to screw over Jack and the company. I do believe Diane's heart's in the right place, though. She's genuinely trying to make things right, and maybe she has changed. She's happy in her new life with her family. But as for Kyle, yeah, he's a snake, and I'm pretty sure he'll turn on them the minute it benefits him. Trust him? Not a chance. Phyllis isn't jealous of Sally, at least not because she's younger. No, the real issue here is that Billy went to her, asking for help in his quest for revenge against Victor, but the moment he showed up, Phyllis realized he couldn't focus on anything for 5 seconds, and that was exactly her problem. Billy, ever the distracted mess, was more focused on whatever shiny object caught his attention than staying laser-focused on taking down Victor. That, of course, drove Phyllis absolutely nuts. She needed him fully committed to the plan, but distraction, well, that's Billy's kryptonite. It's funny, Gina Tognoni's version of Phyllis would have handled this whole situation so differently. She had a way of actually bonding with other women. Remember when she formed that trio at Jebot with Lauren and Carrie? They were a powerhouse. Or that time Mia was doing her makeup, and Phyllis could sense something was off, so she actually cared enough to sit her down and talk it through. That kind of genuine interaction, it's hard to imagine this version of Phyllis doing anything remotely similar. And don't even get me started on her recent alliances. Phyllis teaming up with Nikki and Ashley to take down Diane? Sure, for about 5 minutes it seemed promising. But just like everything else in Phyllis's life, it fell apart faster than she could say betrayal. She just wasn't the same, and it wasn't some slow burn of personal growth. It was a sudden shift, and I could never fully accept her as the real Phyllis after that. Take her little jab at Sally regarding Summer. What was the point of that? I mean, Summer and Sally have clearly moved past their issues. It's not like Phyllis was genuinely revisiting their old problems. No, she was just throwing out the "I'm a serious adult, you're still stuck at the kids' table" vibe. Phyllis was trying to make it clear that she was the one in charge, the one with the power to help Billy, if he could ever get his act together and stop being so easily sidetracked. Billy's distractions might be funny to anyone watching, but to Phyllis? Well, they're just more proof of how far off course he is from actually getting anything done. Oh, they really need another family like the Fosters, don't they? You remember The Fosters, the show where a working-class family mixed it up with the rich folks? That was actually fun. Why can't we get a family like that in this one? Maybe throw in a parent who's a teacher. Oh wait, we've got Katie and Connor for that. plus the ever-elusive Christian who we never see. And hey, let's toss in another police officer. Heaven knows they've got plenty of those, though let's be honest, TTVD, the powers that be, have no idea how to write for cops. Maybe, just maybe, it's time to mix it up with something else. A family with real jobs, like a tradesperson. An electrician, carpenter, factory worker, city forester, or hey, even someone working at Fenmore's would be a breath of fresh air. Could give us some actual stories. Ray wasn't terrible, I guess, but what did they do to him? They threw him into Sharon's bed after Dylan took his little vacation to the Fisk rig, which we're still not sure whether he survived or not. But you know, who cares at this point? Ray was just too by the book, like way too rigid, and let's be real, the actor didn't look like he wanted to be there, at all. SC at least tried, but it wasn't enough to save a character that was so predictable. Lola had potential. She was the one who stood out in the Rosales family. That was until the whole purse incident with Kyle. Like, some people just don't know how to graciously accept a gift, right? That moment was beyond awkward and made Lola look petty. Honestly, after that, I was happy to see the back of her. Sasha Calle is a talented actress, but poor thing got stuck with Kyle Abbott. Really, wasted talent. The rest of the Rosales family, it was just bad writing and distractions. A messy subplot that no one needed. So yeah, a working-class family. Maybe this time, with a teacher at Walnut Grove and a professor at Genoa City University. Though I'm not holding my breath for any of the kids like Lucy, Johnny, Katie, Connor, or the invisible Christian to actually appear. And for the love of all that's holy, can we please avoid more cops? TPTV clearly have no clue how to write for them. What about some tradespeople? Seriously, there are a ton of storylines just waiting to be written if they'd step away from the same old tired formulas. As much as I'm not thrilled that Summer has to share screen time with Kyle and Claire, I'll admit today's episode wasn't the worst. Sure, Summer's feeling some type of way. There's jealousy in the air, but it's not all about Kyle. A big part of it is about Harrison. Kyle even acknowledged that Summer's frustrations are tied to her place in Harrison's life, and I think that's spot on. As for her interaction with Claire, yeah, Summer was being a bit petty, but that's kind of who she is. I love her, but I'm not afraid to call her out. She's very much like her grandmother Nikki, with a bit of Phyllis thrown in when she's feeling cornered. Of course, Summer made sure to remind Claire about her role in Harrison's life. And honestly, I think that was fair. I believe Summer when she says she doesn't mind who Kyle spends his time with, as long as it doesn't affect Harrison. In my opinion, Summer didn't act inappropriately at all. She's not the same Summer we saw back in the Kyle and Lola days, pining for him. Sure, she's not thrilled about Kyle and Claire, but she's not letting those feelings take over. I think Claire's insecurities will end up causing more trouble than Summer's actions. As for Claire, if she's feeling uncomfortable now, she hasn't seen Summer in full action yet. If Claire thinks Summer's behavior is tough now, she's in for a surprise. Just ask Lola. She could tell Claire a thing or two about what it's like to deal with Summer when she's pushed. Summer hasn't done anything yet, but if she ever decides to act on her feelings, Claire might be in for a bit of a wake-up call. And honestly, the whole situation with Kyle and Claire, it's a bit risky, especially given Kyle and Summer's complicated history. It's hard to believe Claire didn't know about their past. She's always been aware of the Newmans. So if Summer ever decides she wants Kyle back, it's clear that the road ahead won't be easy for Claire. They didn't break up because they stopped loving each other after all. So if and when Summer chooses to pursue things again, Claire will definitely have reason to be cautious. Overall, I thought this was a solid episode. There was definitely some jealousy from Summer, and I couldn't help but think, wow, the old Summer is coming through. Her little moment of blurting out what Claire wanted to talk to Kyle about, classic Summer. It reminded me a lot of the old days with Lola. Also, credit to Allison Langier. She has a way of delivering those pouting looks that really bring her character to life. I'm definitely curious to see where this goes. But back to the main point. Summer's jealousy isn't just about them being romantically involved. It's about them getting closer to Harrison, which means Summer might feel like she's being pushed out. And remember, when Kyle and Claire got together, Claire was still Harrison's nanny. So anyone who thinks it's okay because she's no longer in that role needs to rethink things. Kyle didn't have any problem getting close to Claire when she was still working for him. I think Summer's jealousy has a lot to do with Kyle and Claire's growing connection, and I can totally understand why. As Kyle and Claire get closer, Summer might feel more and more on the outside, especially since Kyle seems to be the one encouraging it. I'm not sure Kyle would mind if Claire ended up being more involved in Harrison's life, possibly even as a mother figure, which could push Summer out completely. Summer needs to give it a rest. Here we go again. Summer's back at it with her jealousy, trying to convince Kyle that everything she does is for Harrison's well-being. Honestly, I'm over it. She's just using Harrison as an excuse to stick her nose in Kyle's personal life. Not once did Kyle make a big deal about Chance, so it's high time he reminds her of that. It's simple. We can be co-parents, but our personal lives are our personal lives. To be crystal clear, Claire and I are getting closer, and I'm looking forward to getting even closer. So let's avoid the drama, all right? But if I'm reading this wrong, then fine, let me know. But from where I'm standing, it looks like someone's a little jealous. If I'm misinterpreting your actions, Summer, then I apologize. But I just want us to be on the same page so we can both be the kind of parents Harrison needs. When Victor finds out about Jordan. Victor? Gone. Don't care to see Jordan or her sidekick anywhere near my screen. But if they lock Victor up in his own personal dungeon, I'd watch that. Once he's finally found, we all know he's going to blame Cole and Michael, because of course, it's never his fault. But here's the thing. If either of them runs into Jordan and Victor vanishes, I think they'll have a pretty good idea of where he's at. And let's be real, Victor will probably be screaming, "Get me the hell out of this hellhole." But me, I'd make him stew for a while. Let him reflect on all the crap he's done to people. Maybe, just maybe, he'll start to get a clue. Oh, I totally believe this. Spoiler alert ahead. So, today on the US show, Claire's waiting for Kyle after running into Summer at Crimson Lights. Claire's just accepted Nikki's job offer, and she's excited to tell Summer she's going to be working for Chancellor. But of course, Summer already seems to know, because why wouldn't she? And then goes on to feel bad for Harrison, since Claire won't be his nanny anymore. But wait, Summer's not done. Before Claire can even say a word to Kyle, Summer blurts it out. Really, Summer? Was that really necessary? Here's what I think. Summer will definitely run her mouth to Harrison next, and she'll probably make it sound like Claire just doesn't have time for him anymore, or say something worse. Claire wants to be the one to explain it to him gently, so he knows she's still going to be in his life as his buddy, but good luck with that now, thanks to Summer. Now, let's talk about the little detail where Claire and Kyle hooked up, probably without protection, because, you know, Kyle's history with Tara and Harrison was a thing. So yeah, I'm betting that Claire might end up pregnant. A little bundle of unplanned joy could be on the way, which would just drive Summer crazy. It's like a ticking time bomb, 9 months in the making. Imagine it, Claire and Kyle, parents of an unplanned baby. That would definitely send Summer into a tailspin. But here's hoping she doesn't go low and try to manipulate Harrison by twisting the whole nanny situation. That would be pretty pathetic. But oh, you know Summer won't let that slide. She's definitely not going to like being upstaged by Claire, especially when Claire's the actual mom, not just the nanny. I'm sure Summer will twist the whole situation when she tells Harrison that Claire won't be his nanny anymore, making it sound as negative as possible. Poor Harrison will probably end up resenting Claire for it. Thanks, Summer. All right, fellow Canadians, have you seen the test results yet? Do share, I'm dying to know. Will the tests actually reveal something? Or did they just toss the meds back in the trash, pretending it never happened? Oh, and by the way, I deleted my taped version today. Were there previews for next week? Did I miss them? Here's the scoop from Monday's US episode. Turns out Sharon was drugged with PCP. For months, PCP, as you know, can cause hallucinations, aggression, and paranoia. So, no surprise that she's been a bit off the rails. When the test results come in, Michael, Nick, and Mariah are with Sharon. They're all upset, but also kind of relieved because, hey, at least this explains all the awful things she did. She wasn't really herself. So now they're left wondering who would do this to her. And then, just when you think things might calm down, Sharon pulls a real winner. She announces she needs to be by myself. And after a little back and forth, they let her go. Let her wander off on her own. Yeah, you heard that right. They let her walk off alone into Genoa City. Why? She's obviously a mess, emotionally wrecked, and someone's out to get her. But sure, go ahead and wander around outside by yourself. What could possibly go wrong? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.